Aloha!
Don't rub it in. The guy's in Hawaii and he's going to let me know about it every 10 seconds. Aloha bullshit. I'm sitting here in freaking Pennsylvania on my back patio. He's sitting on a sandy beach somewhere. Fuck.
I'm currently on the lanai.
Oh yeah, I don't want to get that wrong. At the end of the year, we should it'd be great to get some type of image of a big school bus with him driving the bus and everybody who won the clown in the window of the bus. Wouldn't that be great?
I would love to know if that image is all Photoshopped or if he was dressed up like that somewhere for a Halloween party.
That's gotta be Photoshopped. But I don't think he would dare do that for this reason. For idiots like us. I might remortgage the house on this game. I gotta watch what I say too loud. There's people in the room next door gonna be checking bank accounts.
Oh, you can't go back now. This is all recorded. Rack the tape.
That's right.
We're at the 34-minute mark.
Yeah.
Mike's remortgaging the house. So every week we're going to work with Freedom First Rescue. We're going to feature a pup that needs a forever home. And then we're also going to give you the bets that we're barking the loudest about that week. They could be favorites, could be props, could be totals. Listen, if we're barking, you know it's worth the attention. Mike, this is the first bark bet. I'm going to screw this up every week.
This is the first bark bet segment here, fellas. I'm going to take over for Tom. He's having a little bit of problems with his mouth. So, yes, this is the first one. We're going to go into this with a bark.
We have absolutely no sponsors. No one's given us any money to run this thing, by the way. This is all funded by our low bank accounts.
That's true.
So we're not getting any DraftKings money. There's no money
The only
here.
thing I'm getting right now is Tom's dog Mookie licking my balls underneath the table. That's a good boy. How the fuck can you give them Iowa State when Cincinnati is our fucking bark bet of the week? God damn you. God damn you. The one we're barking about the loudest, and this fucking guy goes and takes the other fucking side. Unbelievable. This is the fucking podcast of the year.
Welcome in October 16, 2025. The action's locked, the numbers are live, and we're attacking it like it's 4th and goal. From sharp sides to public fades, this is Off the Hook sports talk that pays off. Mike.
Aloha, everyone. Oh, shit. We're not in Hawaii anymore.
Yeah, we're not in Hawaii anymore. No.
Adios to Hawaii. Back to the mainland.
God.
Got a lot to go over here, a lot to unpack, a lot to look forward to in the next week coming up.
This is insane. This is week 8 for college football and week 7 for the NFL.
I heard someone say the other day that there is, I forget how many days of nonstop football from
now until like February something.
Yeah, there's a game every night of the week.
Yeah.
Monday through Sunday.
Because you got the MAC shit and
you got
all
MAC on Wednesdays and you have Tuesday action now. Yeah, got MACtion in there. So it's
That's
good
awesome.
Good for degenerates like us.
Yeah, there's a game every night to lose money.
That's right.
It's just crazy how it's flying by. We're mid-October.
We're coming up on a good week, and we both had a decent week, so it makes it a little better.
Yeah, we did have a really good week, and we'll get to that in cash it or trash it. And since it is a packed slate, let's just get right into opening lines and kick things off, breaking down the biggest headlines, the market moves that follow. So we'll look at how the betting market's reacting, the last week's action, the action coming up this week, a lot of line moves, the market's moving all over the place. I know LSU, Vandy, that thing opened as a pick'em, and now it's Vandy is laying like 2.5. There's a lot of lines that are moving all over the place. Injuries, coaches getting fired. Holy shit. This is not the best part, though, is James Franklin getting fired.
It's about time, right? I mean, geez. Like, we wondered what he had on the administration there, why he had such a long leash. But I guess the leash came to an end. Finally,
that made my day. I didn't think they'd have the balls to do it, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
I
don't think they had a choice. They were getting a lot of pressure. I mean, the whole stadium was turning on them. I mean, chanting, fuck James Franklin. God.
I think he knew when he walked off that field because he let the players walk off, and then he walked off, and then they were just
for certain. When that clock hit 0, he knew that was the last game he'd be coaching at that school. Yeah, there's no doubt.
And I don't know how true this is, because the internet's just full of shit, right? A lot of times. But there is partial truth to this. So Penn State, at the beginning of September, signed a 10-year deal with Adidas that starts July 2026. So they're no longer a Nike school. So they've been a Nike school since like 93. So they're done with Nike. Adidas starts next year, July 2026, for all the teams. Allegedly, Pat Kraft and a high-ranking VP or executive VP, somebody at Adidas, they're pretty tight. So rumor has it that Adidas put pressure on Penn State to get him out of there. They wouldn't have nothing to do with him next year when they came in. Is that true? I don't know, but I know Adidas is taking over, and they apparently paid or putting up some of the money for that $50 million buyout. Now, whether that's true or not, we may not know, but Adidas is taking over, so... I mean, it could partially be true. I mean,
well, tell Adidas that they don't have to worry about getting their influence in there because his record did it for him. You don't have to convince anybody to get him out. I mean, the whole Penn State family decided it was enough.
Yeah. I mean, it's. I'm just curious to see who now they bring in.
That's the question.
I mean, they're just. I heard they're just throwing money at whoever will listen. Like, people are saying they'll call whoever, Saban. They're just going to go right down the list and just start calling people and see who's going to come in. I don't know.
Time will tell.
Yeah, they'll still suck, so who cares? But
yeah,
we're still going to have the James Franklin Clown of the Week award, whether he's coaching next year, this year, wherever, because he is a clown, and we're going to stick with that. And that's coming up later. We'll end the show with that. And we had like a 1A, 1B for that. So we'll get into that later. But James Franklin, goodbye. See ya. We're not going to miss you. We'll still have you here every week as the Clown of the Week. So real quick, just looking at the betting market here, recap from last week. Start the NFL. So week 6, favorites cashed in at 73%. They were 11-4 straight up. Favorites against the spread were 7-8. That's 47%. That's pretty shitty. Road teams straight up and against the spread were 6-9 in both. And then the overs came in at 5-9, so 36% on the overs. And then season to date for NFL, favorites are coming in at 69% straight up. Favorites against the spread are 52%. Road teams straight up are coming in at 43%. Road teams against the spread are 50%, and the overs are 50%. A couple of things before we go to college and get your take on this. I thought this was kind of interesting. So the Colts are scoring on 75% of their drives. All 4 starting receivers have at least 20 catches and 1 touchdown this season. Rumor has it that before that November 4th, 4 p.m. trade deadline, they're going to be calling Cincinnati for Trey Hendrickson. His coach from FAU is the defensive line coach. And then Lou Anarumo, the former defensive coordinator from when he was at the Bengals, is obviously the defensive coordinator for the Colts. So be interesting to see if the Colts make a play for Hendrickson or not with that. So, and then real quick, college football, just the season to date numbers. Favorites straight up cashing in at 81%. Favorites against the spread coming in at 52%. Road teams straight up at 29%. Road teams against the spread 47%, and overs at 50%. So that's the update for the betting markets. Is there any thoughts on that, or the Colts, or anything else you want to get into?
No, the only thing I got to say about the Colts is I'll be betting against them this week. I'll tell you that.
It should be a good game. They're due for a letdown.
They are.
So we'll see what happens there. But as we said, we did very well in our picks last week. So we're going to pull that up here and take a look at last week's Cash It or Trash It and get that report card out. And I think this might be the first time that you and I both did actually very well together instead of like one was off. And, so I think
you're right.
I think we did both. This is the first week both of us did very well. Let's see here.
Money talks and bullshit walks.
Playing with my money is like playing with my emotions. Nothing new for trash like you.
All right, so there it is, Mike. There's the report card. You were 9-3. Oh,
I'm bowing for people who can't see. I'll take the 9-3 any day of the week. That's money in the bank right there.
And that's 75%. If I did my math right, 75% correct last week. So kudos to you on that. Do you even have best call, worst call, bet, regret? I mean,
I do.
Okay.
I do, because my 2 losers in college football there were absolute duds. I mean, they weren't even close. Both of them are worst calls. Oregon State, and that was my bet I was barking at the most. They are so unbelievably bad. It was painful to watch. They never
got their
could get
coach
done.
fired, right? He got fired.
They should have. They should have fired him right in the middle of the game, actually. It was so
They
bad.
should've.
It was
Yeah.
so bad. And then Michigan State, they just played bad, but, I think UCLA might be for real now.
Spicoli at the helm.
Yeah, I mean, there might be something there. There might be something there.
Yeah.
Bet regret, I don't really have one. Everything I talked about betting, I bet. So there's no game that I was really talking about that I said I like and didn't end up betting it. I think I bet everything I talked about. And probably my best call, I don't know, that Bowling Green was pretty nice. They were down 21-0 at one point. I saw 21-0, and then they just came back and, just ran off a bunch of points. And I'd have to say overall, though, probably the Indiana game is probably my best call. That game was a great game to watch, and they looked good. They looked really good.
Yeah, I was worried for you.
That looked like a team, Tom, that could beat Ohio State right there.
I think so. They are definitely better than last year. And they were good last year, but Signetti, the guy always looks pissed off, which is great.
Mm-hmm.
And he just loves running the score up. He don't give a shit. You don't care. I love that. Yeah, I was worried for you with that Bowling Green game when I saw they were losing 21-0. I'm like, ooh. Yeah. But then they came back and pulled it out. So, yeah, good week overall, 9-3. I was 8-4, counting the Missouri push. So that's a big difference. We get that hook, 3.5 versus 3. If you're late to the party, you get the push.
Getting the best lines.
So, then Oregon, in my mind, I knew Indiana was probably the right play, but I just thought Oregon would be tough at home. I was thinking they would win. If they're going to win, it would be like by a touchdown, maybe 10. So I was thinking worst case is maybe a push there, but then Indiana's definitely for real.
Yeah.
Kansas took a flyer on that. Auburn, Hugh Freeze, I felt bad for Auburn in an Oklahoma game. They got dealt some shitty calls, no calls, some bad calls. And then they come back, they're beating Georgia 10-3 at half. And then at half, Jackson Arnold, there's a bad call, should have been a touchdown. He's bitching to the reporter. You can just tell he just gave up. He should have went in at halftime and said, look, we're up 10-3, just keep playing your game. And they probably would have beat Georgia. But I feel like he gave up on them. And, I can tell right now, I think you are too. I'm on the other side of them this week against Missouri because I just think that Auburn, he's just losing that locker room. And it's just, you can tell just how his reaction was. But he should have been more upbeat. Look, they were up 10-3. Did some shit go the wrong way? Yeah. But you still had a lead against Georgia. You still owned the first half. So Auburn shit the bed. Jacksonville, that was a toss-up. That, in my mind, could go either way, the way they played the week before. If I had to say best call, I'd say it's a tie between Air Force and Temple. Fucking Temple almost won, and then their defense shit the bed. Dude, I'm watching Temple and fucking Navy and flipping between the Air Force UNLV game, and I'm like, Temple's going to win this thing.
Typical Temple fashion.
I think it was homecoming, too. You had it 50 seconds. Yeah, I let the guy run for 50 yards and score a touchdown. That's terrible. They covered, but it would have been nice to see them win. But so I'd say, I'd say Temple was probably my best call. Worst call, fucking Auburn. Fuck them. I should have known better with Hugh Freeze, whiny little bitch. Bet regret, probably not trusting Indiana and taking that side and.
Yeah.
It just
not listening to your gut.
Yeah. It's, just not look at the home field of Oregon and just take the road dog. Cause it was, I think, what do you have it? 7.5? It was going up and down. So 7.5, 7. I mean, Even at 7, that would have been the play. Other than the Auburn shit in the bed against Georgia, I don't have anything else from college. But NFL, what's your take on the Eagles? They might have some problems.
They have problems for sure. Yeah, they have some problems. Yeah, they have problems offensively and they have problems defensively. One, they can't get a pass rush. That's the most important thing on defense. And that just exacerbates the defensive backfield because making them guys cover longer than they should have to cover because they can't get a pass rush on that quarterback. And when you aren't real deep in the defensive backfield to begin with, that makes it even worse. So
right.
I think you could get away with having not the best secondary. If you get a good pass rush and you make a quarterback throw quick, that really helps your secondary. But when you don't have either one of those, you're in trouble, and that's where they are. And then offensively, yeah, man, I don't know. It's basically the same offensive line, and they're not running the ball like they did last year. And I think a lot of that is because people they're not afraid of the passing attack. So they're stacking the line and saying, beat us through the air, and they haven't shown that they could do that yet. Haven't even taken shots down the field. I don't
understand. It's so basic and so vanilla and this dink and dunk shit. And you have receivers that can stretch the field. I mean, A.J. Brown should shut his mouth.
Yeah,
but yet I can understand, dude, you have a running game which should open up your passing game, but they're not even attempting to throw downfield. I understand you don't want to show anything in preseason, but yeah, we're at week 7 now. Like, I have no idea where this team is going to end up.
Me neither.
Especially with these 2 losses in a row. You knew the Giants were going to be tough, regardless of how bad they suck, because it's a conference team. I don't think this offensive coordinator is right for the job based on what I've seen.
Nothing showing us that it is. And I can tell you that odds makers at this point probably aren't even sure how to line some of these Eagles games because they don't know what they don't know.
They got to figure it out and figure it out fast. One other thing I noted, the Jets Broncos, can we stop with these fucking stupid games in Spain and London and getting these shit matchups? They had -10 passing yards. This team fucking stinks.
Loved it. I took the Jets last minute and cashed it.
What?
They're bad. They're so bad.
They are so bad. And Aaron Glenn, that smug retard, comes in and thought he was the shit in the offseason, telling Aaron Rodgers basically to go fuck off, and he's like running this shit, and the guy can't even win a game. They look so confused, dude. That team is a mess.
Yeah.
The Jets, I don't even know. The Jets haven't been good since Namath. Can they just give up or figure it out? Or I don't know. They need to clean house. Something needs to happen because they're just going nowhere fast. It's so bad, dude. The Chiefs-Lions game. So the Chiefs, the week prior, had 13 penalties, and now all of a sudden they had 0. 0 against the Lions.
It's amazing how they could clean things up.
Yeah. They did nothing wrong, apparently.
Oh, just take some complaints to the NFL office, and then then you almost get the treatment where we're calling too many penalties on them, and now these guys don't want to throw flags at all. That's
right.
What happens.
Yeah, when they overturned the golf touchdown at the beginning of the game for the illegal formation, that just right there, that just changed the whole momentum of the game.
Yeah.
And the fucking Lions, dude, they lose any more defensive backs. That dipshit got suspended at the end of the game. Although Juju Smith-Schuster probably deserved to get punched in the face. But
probably.
With how they're so decimated with injuries, now he's going to be sitting out against Tampa and your boy Baker Mayfield.
Baker.
I know you hate the guy. But that 3rd and 14 run that he had.
Yeah, I can't stand him. Yeah, he's a guy that you love if he's on your team, a guy that you hate if you're going against him.
The Chiefs, I think, are was it plus 150 to win the AFC West? I saw the other day. They're 3-3, so and they're getting the calls. So if that continues, the Chiefs might win that division. So much football, baseball, the championship series. It's in full swing. It's snuck up on us. Both ALCS, NLCS, both road teams are up 2-0. So I guess I'll just keep betting against my Dodgers, and then they'll just keep winning because I bet against them last night, thinking, well,
did you?
Yeah.
On the money line or run line?
I took the Brewers money line.
Yeah.
last night. The Brewers,
I thought
they're
about it too. They were like
undefeated
+100.
on Tuesdays, right, this season. And
Get the fuck out of here, this guy. Oh boy, undefeated on Tuesdays.
Taco Tuesday, Brewers undefeated. So I was like, yeah. So it works out. I bet against the Dodgers and they fucking win. This is interesting though. So last night, Yamamoto pitched a complete game. That's the first starting pitcher since 2017 to pitch a complete game. That's crazy. Like, growing up, these guys would always go the distance.
You don't see many pitchers going the whole distance these days.
No. And then you had Yamamoto, which I thought this was interesting too. He's the first Japanese pitcher to pitch a complete game in the postseason. Which you think of all the, Nomo, these other guys. There's been a bunch of Japanese pitchers, and he was the first one to pitch a complete game. And I also found this little tidbit. So this could be a telltale of how these series are going to end up. Could be looking at Seattle Dodgers World Series. MLB teams that start 2-0 on the road win 25 out of 28 matchups. So they're 25-3 when the road teams start 2-0, so they win the series. So I guess we'll see how this pans out. I think the Brewers are done.
Yeah,
I think it was big for the Dodgers looking at their pitching. Their bullpen's been a wreck all season.
I was going to say bullpen stats almost in the playoffs don't really even matter because so many of these teams aren't even using bullpen in the playoffs. They're bringing their other starters in as relievers, and you can't really say, they could have a poor bullpen all year long, and then in the playoffs they're bringing their fourth and fifth starter in to pitch a couple innings, and it's working out well for some teams.
Yeah.
The Dodgers were doing that against the Phillies.
Yeah. I'm waiting for Roberts to make a dumb move in this series. He's managed very well the first two games, which I'm shocked. I was a little iffy when Trinan came in after Sasaki only had one out, and you let him in there, and I was like, oh boy, here we go. But that's big for him moving forward now because his confidence was shot. So we'll see what happens with Glasnow and then Ohtani. It could be a sweep. And then the Mariners,
they're good, man.
That team can hit. Yeah. That team can hit. That would be a good World Series, Mariners-Dodgers.
Their pitching's good, too.
Yeah. I thought Toronto can hit, so I guess we'll see what happens in Seattle, but I don't know. It'd be something if both these series
sweep. They ran out of gas. Toronto was on such a high to close out the season. It's almost like it feels like they ran out of gas.
Yeah, that's what it looks like. They're just they're gassed. Yeah. Where Seattle was always right there, where the Blue Jays were up and down, right? Yeah. You had the Red Sox, the Yankees, they were all just kind of back and forth. Where Seattle, for the most part, was out front, right? And so it should be good to see what happens. Maybe the Dodgers run it back, but I don't know. They play.
It's likely.
I'd rather have them play Toronto than Seattle, if I'm going to be honest with you.
Yeah, I don't. I mean, for you, I could understand why you would, but the selfish part of me who wants to see a good series wants the Dodgers to play Seattle, and I think Seattle can beat the Dodgers in the series.
I think so. I think so.
So tonight, Seattle, they're about a -128 favorite, and it's Kirby against Beaver. It should be a good matchup too.
It should be. I like Seattle there though to win at home. Oh, the crowd on their side. The place is going to be nuts.
Yeah. Anything
else? Baseball, NFL?
No.
Coaches getting fired. Coaches on hot seat. Titans fired their coach finally.
Yeah.
There's going to be more to come. I'm waiting for Mike McDaniel to get fired. He's going to be next.
I thought it would happen this week. I could tell you what the rumors have it that there's going to be a fire sale on those players. So you're going to start to see players being offered up for trade really quick.
Tyreek Hill is going to be gone.
Yeah, Eagles are actually looking at a couple of their pass rushers.
So I was looking because a lot of times these coaches do it bye weeks. Right, so Miami's bye is week 12 because they like to do it around the bye week, so they have that extra week to prepare to get a new coach in there. I wonder if they do it then because I can't see them really doing anything between now and week 12. They're pretty shitty.
Yeah, maybe they'll let him finish the season. Who knows? Joe Flacco, he never ceases to amaze me. He's unbelievable.
I think they beat Pittsburgh this week. We'll get into that in a little bit, but I think they got a good shot.
My money's on them.
Yeah, they covered against Green Bay.
Yeah.
He's serviceable, man. He was like 41, 42.
Yep.
And Tomlin's a big fan of Flacco. He loves Flacco.
Yeah.
And he knows what he's getting. The Steelers, they don't look that good either. I mean, the record, you think they're not.
Keep this a secret because I will bet against them every week because I think the odds makers respect them a little too much because of Rodgers, and I think since the last 3 weeks, I've really when I make my line and I look at theirs, I think it's overinflated just a little bit, and it's enough to get an edge if you take the other side. So
Yeah, I think you're right.
I will continue to do so.
Yeah, I agree with that. Speaking of that, I know you have some good info, and we talked a little bit last week about the info you have on ProfitX Action Network. So, Mike, share your wealth with the 15 bettors we have listening this week.
So I just wanted to get this out there. So I do go on a site called the Action Network. You can become a member there. It's a free site, but they do have a membership. It's very inexpensive, but there are some perks to being a member there. They will break down some of the games. They'll give you some in-depth stats that you normally wouldn't see. You can see what side's taking a lot of money, what side's taking smart money. But one of the perks of having the membership is I could go in there and take a look at the games that I like for the week, and I can check a couple boxes as to what games I like. And I could also set alerts. So if, let's just say, Eagles are playing Dallas Cowboys and I like the Cowboys, but the line is 2.5, I can set an alert on my phone that if that line at any point gets to 3 throughout the week at any of my sports books, I will get alert on my phone the second that it gets to 3. That way, whatever I'm doing, I can quick sign onto my account and lock in that 3 points before that gets changed, before it gets bet back down. That's really advantageous to serious bettors who are looking to beat the closing line value. It's so important. If you're going to win money, that CLV, that closing line value, is so important because you see these games come down to half points every week. And if you're on the wrong side of that and you didn't get your bet in on time, that could be hundreds and thousands of dollars at the end of the year. This next thing I wanted to talk to you about, and this doesn't really matter for the casual bettors, the bettors who are betting, 20, 30, 40 bucks on games here or there, or like to bet props, a lot of props. There's no issues with having a couple sports books and just doing your thing. If you're a more serious gambler, you're going to run into
What
issues.
about parlays? I like betting parlays, like a 10 leg, 12 leg parlay.
Yeah, these sports books, FanDuel, DraftKings, they love guys like Tom who bet these parlays. They'll take those all day long. But if you are betting sports books, DraftKings, FanDuel, Fanatics, all these sports books, one thing they'll notice is if you are making money over the long haul, you'll get limited. It happens to all of us. They'll find out that you're somewhat sharp, and I don't consider myself sharp. They'll think you're sharp if you start winning money, and they'll limit you. Almost every sports book I have, I've been limited to. I've been limited. A lot of them are just in college basketball, and they'll let me go in some of these other sports where I could bet a little more, but I've been limited. Like I can't even get a bet down for like $50 on some of these games across some of these books. So what I'm getting at is there are places called exchanges. They're not considered sports books. One of them is called ProfitX. One of them is called Novig. And you may know a little about these already. The biggest difference between an exchange and a sports book is you're not betting against the house. You're betting against a peer. It's peer-to-peer. So there's two types of things you could do on these exchanges. You could either take an order or make an order. Most of the time, I would just take an order and not make an order. If you make an order, basically what you're doing is you're putting a wager on there and putting a price on it and looking for someone else to take the other side of that. How does the book make its money, or how does the exchange make its money? They take 3% from the winner. So it's still better than what you're doing at sports books. It's 3%. So what most people do is they don't make it, they take an order. So if I wanted to take the Eagles this weekend, and let's say the Eagles were a minus 120 favorite, and I wanted to take the money line, and it's 120 at FanDuel, I could go on this exchange and look to see if somebody has the other side of that game. And you could see it as low as minus 105, 107. And here's the difference. Why don't I just go on FanDuel and bet it at whatever the money line is there? Because one, you could get better lines on here, better value. And two, and this is the most important thing, they don't care how much money you bet. You could bet as much as you want. They're not losing the money. They're just the middleman. So you're not going to get limited. So this is a place for big time bettors to bet large amounts of money, or people who are looking for edges and odds to go on and find a bet that they like. And what you have to look for is, it's called liquidity. So if you like under in a game, and you go on there, and let's say in the Eagles game, under 45, you may go on there and see under 45 at minus 107, and it'll show $850 in liquidity. That means that somebody placed that, and they're willing to risk $850. So you could take the other side of that for up to $850. So you just have to look, and most of the times you'll see that the liquidity is in the thousands. So if you wanted to bet large numbers, you can. But there's a lot to learn about it. Don't have enough time to go through all this. But if you want to check it out, there's so much information on YouTube about ProfitX and Novig. Go on and check it out. There's more information that I could explain to you in 10 minutes. So if you're a serious bettor or even just a curious one, check it out.
Yeah, that is it's some good info, Mike. And I know you sent me a couple of videos. It was pretty cool because I didn't know about that. Even the Action Network piece with the alerts, which is, I mean, even if you just take that piece of information, I mean, because if you have multiple books, to try to manage when that line moves, if you're waiting for it to get to a magic number 3, a 7, a 10, whatever that number is, it's so hard to scroll and look at all the books. But if you have the alert set, it's right there, and then you just log in if you're able to and make the bet so you don't lose out.
Tom,
so
what's also nice about that, even if you're not waiting for it to get to a certain number, I have all my accounts set up there. So if I want to go on there right now and see what the line is on the Eagles game for next week, it'll pull it up and show all the line across all my sports books, and I can just simply look at which one has the best odds right now for me to lock in.
And when it loads, like if say you look at the Eagles-Vikings game, it loads with the book with the best odds, right? So right away you see, oh, it's Caesars or it's FanDuel or ESPN Bet or whatever. So you know right away, okay, this is where it's at. And I think it even shows like where it opened at. Like it'll say, it'll be something like grayed out. It might be like 7.5. Now the line's like 5.5. So you can see the trends right away, like as a quick glance at the game, which helps too. So you see something moving quickly, then you want to jump on it before you lose out.
Right.
So that's definitely good info. And we can, when we post this video, some of the videos you sent, I'll post some links in the summary for this week's podcast. And people can click on the link, watch the YouTube video, get more info on it. Thanks, Mike, for that. That's definitely some good info. And we'll try to get you more as we carry on with this podcast. And when we get to 20 people, maybe we'll do another little segment. So we're only at 15. But I think that just about wraps up opening lines. Spreads are on the board, so we're going to dive across the board and look at the biggest matchups this week. Whether we're betting on them or not, we'll give you the biggest games this week and see where the market's trending. What do you say, Mike? Should we look at college football first?
Sure.
Go there and take a look at some of these key games here this week in college football. Well, that would be the fucking NFL, so I'm an idiot.
Do you want to start there since it's up?
We'll start with the NFL because I'm an idiot and pulled up the wrong graphic, so I'm fired. But
I'm trying to pick out one of these early primetime games to see if there's worth mentioning on here. Again, man, doesn't it just seem like every early game in the NFL is just trash? You have a good rivalry game with the Raiders, with the Kansas City Chiefs. Other than that, geez, wow.
Yeah, it
is pretty bad. Carolina Jets.
That Rams-Jags game, that's in Spain, right? Does anybody give a shit in Spain?
That's the early game. Yeah, we'll give a shit if we're betting on it. But other than that, wow, it's not a good NFL week. That's for damn sure. Good Lord.
Yeah, and then you get the another double dipper on Monday night, which the first one, all right, Tampa, Lions, okay, right? I mean, two good teams. Yeah. Tampa's hot. Lions, they're still trying to figure things out. They're injured, whatever. But then the second piece of that, the Texans and the Seahawks, Seattle should just blow right through. The Texans are terrible. I mean, I guess. What's that?
I mean, I'll have some. Don't get me wrong. I'm finding some value here to bet on some games. But I'll be honest, there's not a whole lot to talk about in some of these matchups.
I think a couple interesting games where I'm not they didn't make my card, but it could be like a last minute decision depending where the line's at. The Titans, are they going to get that interim coach bump that usually happens when the coach gets fired? Now the interim coach comes in. And then, Vrabel's going back to Tennessee. Did they get up for the game? Did they at least cover? I mean,
they do.
They
do. That's why
I think they do.
Plays.
The Washington-Dallas game is also, I think, interesting because Dallas can't fucking stop anybody and Washington can't fucking really score. They just look bad. I saw a stat. Dallas has scored 175 points and they've given up 175 points.
Yeah.
So who knows what's going to happen there.
Yeah, I don't have official play on that game, but I most likely will be on the road favorite there, which will be Washington, laying a small number. I think it's 1.5, somewhere around there.
Yeah, I think that's a good play there. It's just two division teams. It could be interesting. I'm curious how the Bears bounce back. They won 3 in a row. Did the Saints sneak one by them in Chicago?
Saints disappointed me last week. They had that cover. They were sitting right there. They had that cover. A couple bad mistakes, and yeah, I thought I was getting a sweep in the NFL last week, and they dropped a bomb on me. But yeah, I don't know. They can. It all depends. I mean, they can move the ball. They have a decent passing attack. It's just. You just don't know. They're not a trustworthy team as far as making stupid mistakes.
Yeah, I don't trust Spencer Rattler. I can't believe that's the best that they could get rolling into the season.
He's prone to making big plays, though. He'll come up with these explosive plays. You just don't know when they're going to happen. That's the problem.
Yeah. So I think they could steal one from the Bears. The Bears might be a little still be celebrating that victory against the Redskins.
Yeah.
I don't know, but the Raiders.
Yeah, against Kansas City. They're another freaking team. Yeah, the Raiders looked good last week when they played nobody, but
yeah, jumping
up in class here, I don't know.
Pete Carroll's
I can't take them against a good team.
No. Pete Carroll's going to shit the bed on that one. I think they get blown out. I don't know what the line is, but I think they get blown out. Like, it's so bad.
That's possible.
Yeah. But I don't really have anything.
And it was 12, by the way. That's what the line was at 12. That's a 2-touchdown victory for sure.
Yeah, I think Kansas City. Because they get Rice back this week too, right? I think Kansas City, supposedly. Allegedly.
I'm not sure.
I think he's coming back. So if he's coming back, the Raiders are in trouble.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I could see that being a blowout.
Enough of this NFL scrap. Let's go on to college football.
Yeah, let's get rid of the NFL. These games suck. You just look at NFL and the playoffs start because these games are just fucking terrible. Or when they start flexing some of these shit games out.
Yeah.
This is so bad. Like, so bad. Even that 8:20 game, the Falcons and Niners. The fuck?
Yeah.
God. All right. Moving on to college. Let me see if I can pull up the right fucking graphic here. All right. So, there we go. College. A lot of good games this week. Anything that
Friday nights should be a decent game. You got the U. I think they're a 2-touchdown favorite or somewhere in that ballpark. Yeah, that should be a good game, at least competitive.
I think so.
Things to say on that.
I think
Saturday early. You have I think the Michigan games early against Washington.
Yeah, it's a noon.
Vandy and LSU. LSU can't score.
Hammer the fucking under on that game. I think it's like 48.5, 49.
Yeah, and then you'll have freaking Diego throwing all over the place and putting up 40 himself. I don't think that'll happen, though. LSU's got a good defense enough to keep him in check. But Vandy's a fun team to root for, though. Yeah,
they are.
You got to be a Diego Pavia fan. Like, he bounced around from place to place, started at New Mexico. I mean, the kid's a gutty player. He's fun to watch.
He is. I thought for sure they would cover the other week, and they didn't. But I think this could be a good game. I like Georgia Tech going there and beating Duke. Yeah, I think Duke's trash.
Duke's like maybe a 1-point favorite last time I saw, if I'm remembering correctly.
Yeah, like 1.5. Some books I think had it too. But
yeah,
Yeah, I like Georgia. Georgia Tech actually could win the ACC. I mean, front runner for that ACC conference win there.
That division's not the best, but that should tell you all if Georgia Tech has a chance to be the winner, right? But
yeah.
You know, I didn't make it a play, but I may be on Arizona State this week against Texas Tech. Texas Tech's been just rolling through people, and by right, they're a good team. Texas Tech is their biggest fault was always they put up 1 million points and can't stop anybody. Well, that's changed this year. They have a defense and they have an offense that can put up points. They're dangerous. With that being said, I think it's a great spot. It's a great spot for Arizona State this week to stay close. I didn't post it as one of my plays yet because I'm waiting to get a better number, and I'm hoping it gets there. It may not, but I probably will be on Arizona State come Saturday afternoon.
Yeah, I think it's a good play. Texas Tech going on the road. I think Arizona State's a good play there. I also was late to the party. I didn't take it. Tennessee going into Alabama. I think that opened up at like 11.5, and that's on like 8.5. I should have took it when it was like 11.5, 10.5, 10, but I missed out on that. But
you like the dog there, huh?
Yeah, I think where I saw it sitting at is like 8.5. Now I don't like it at that number. If it gets to 10, if it goes back up, I would take it, but I
don't think it will.
I don't think it will either.
I think you missed the boat.
I think a day late and $1 short.
Yeah.
What do you think about SC going to Notre Dame? I think they're getting a lot. I think that opened at double digits, 10, 10.5. Now it's in like 9.5, 8.5, somewhere. Depending where you're looking.
What? I looked at that. I can't pin Penn State. I can't pin Notre Dame down this year. I really can't. I kind of got a handle of USC and what they do.
Right.
I like the fact that USC is coming off a big win last week, and now they have to go and get riled up again and play at Notre Dame. If this is more like a touchdown, I'd probably actually take Notre Dame. But there's lines up there around 9.5. I don't know. I just think USC could come out flat. Maybe Notre Dame does cover the 9.5, but I'm not gonna be on it. I said, if it was around 7, consider it. But 9.5, I don't know. But I wouldn't be surprised if USC comes out.
Yeah. Then you got, almost forgot about the Lane train going into Georgia.
Yeah.
That scares me too. Because that guy's burnt me too many fucking times. And I thought about taking it, but I feel like Georgia is just fucking toying with people. Like, they were down 10-3.5 against Auburn, and they just come out and just roll them in the second half.
They have the benefit of 15 straight freaking calls in a row. Do you know that?
Yeah.
15 penalty calls in a row.
That's enough. Listen, okay, speaking of that.
I'm not one of those guys that say, you'll see all over Twitter, oh, that game was fixed. And everybody thinks whenever something like this happens, a game was fixed. First of all, do you know how hard it would be to fix a game like that, a high-profile game? It's not easy. It's not easy for players to do or refs. But I will tell you, you even got people who have this logic knowing that it's hard to fix games. You got people wondering when you see shit like that. 15 straight. Damn.
Well, not only that, but I don't know if it was the first or second half. I want to say it was the second half when Georgia called timeout, and the ref said he didn't call timeout.
They took the timeout
he was clearly, they took the timeout. He was clearly, he said he was he clapping or something?
Clapping his hands.
Yeah. Dude, he's sitting here going like this, and come on.
Man. That's what I'm saying.
Like,
when have you ever seen them take a timeout off the board? That never happens.
I don't think I've ever seen that happen.
You have.
All of football, I don't think I've ever seen that happen. I'm like, are you kidding me right now? Like, there's only so much. I get Auburn still should have handled the bad calls differently, and they still could have won the game. But there's a point where when you keep week in and week out, keep getting the other side of those shitty calls, you just get defeated. You're like, how is this fucking happening that this guy's getting a timeout back?
Yeah.
Oh, it's bad. The NCAA has got to step in and be like, look, this is terrible. What is happening?
Yeah.
That's bad.
I wanted to mention that earlier when you were talking about Auburn. It slipped my mind, but yeah, something's going on there. That was strange.
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if Ole Miss keeps it close or even win. I don't know. It's like you said, you got the refs on the side of Georgia. And then I feel like Georgia is good, and they're just not really showing you anything. They're just going out, winning, and that's it, right? But again, they're getting help, so I don't know. The only other thing, the Utah BYU game.
Yeah, I think I'll be on that side. I think I'll be on Utah this week.
Yeah, I was thinking about that too. The revenge game, so to speak, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they fucking look good. Dampier looks good.
Yeah,
I mean,
and listen, BYU. I think they're not as good as they've shown. I think that's another team that the odds makers love, and I think you can get some value there too.
Yeah,
but just waiting to see what happens with this line. See if we get any movement in the next couple of days.
Yeah.
How about that UNLV? You got undefeated UNLV going to Boise State. And they're getting a boatload.
Boise's how are they getting into like 12 and a half?
That's because UNLV's a fraud. They've been saying it since the week one, and they keep squeaking by and getting by on shitty luck. Yeah, Air Force, don't be surprised if Boise blows them out.
Air Force should have won that game last week. They could have won that game. They totally could have won that game. UNLV,
they're the worst undefeated team in college history right now.
It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. Take the over on that game because they can't stop anybody.
Yeah.
It's been like that since week one. Couldn't stop anybody. Yeah, so that's that. I saw that too. I was like, wow, that's a shit ton of points. Like, I think Boise covers. I'm not taking it, but I think Boise covers that. I don't like that's too many points for them at home.
Yeah.
I got nothing else on college. A lot of good games though. It should be a packed slate.
Yep. Yeah. All right, let's bark.
Yeah. So now we got across the board. We're going to zero in on the bets that we can't stop barking about. Mike, I know this is both of our favorite segment that we do. We can sit here and talk about dogs for an hour.
We got Ruby.
Yeah, we know her. She was at the golf tournament last month. Sweet looking dog. Before we get into Ruby, we're going to give you the bets that we can't stop barking about. Now, we do this every week. We partner with Freedom First Rescue, and we showcase one of the pups that they have up for adoption. This week, it's the sweet girl Ruby, who is the MV pup this week on Bark Bets. So, Mike, lead us off here with your Bark Bet this week.
Yeah, I owe you guys because I gave out a dud last week. It was horrible, and it wasn't even close. I apologize. You know, I didn't even care so much the money I lost on that game, and trust me when I tell you it was a hefty amount, but I felt more upset for the people who followed it, if any, and hopefully there was nobody, which it probably was, and I'll feel better. But I had to come back this week with a banger here and take Missouri -1. It'll get to the window. I'm unloading. Tom, I see you're running with the UCLA train, the Bruins.
Coley.
Yep.
Jerry Neuheisel. Spicoli. I'm gonna jump on that bandwagon. I think he kind of knows what he's doing. I don't like Maryland going to the West Coast. I like UCLA at home. I think they're definitely gonna put some people in the seats for sure.
Listen, the team's playing on a high. They have something to play for now. They're excited. Yeah, when a train gets rolling like that, players are bought in and feeling good. It's tough to stop that. I agree with you.
It kind of makes you wonder, how the hell did Deshaun Foster get that job at UCLA?
I don't know.
And you had Neuheisel coaching tight ends, and all of a sudden this guy looks like a genius calling plays. And beating Penn State, rolled Michigan State. I mean, on the road. But now he goes back home against a Maryland team that, I don't know. I don't like them traveling west. Funny thing is, I was flipping a coin here between UCLA and Cal, because UNC is going to Cal and Cal's laying 10 at home. And UNC is just a mess. That whole Belichick thing is a mess. But the 10 seemed like a lot just because, I don't know, because Cal got stomped by Duke. So that kind of a little leery there. But so I was like, hey, you know what? I'm going with the Bruins. I'll go with Spicoli.
Good call.
running that against Maryland. But those are the Bark
Who
bets.
cares? Who cares about the bets?
We don't
Tell
care
us about the dog.
Yeah, that's it. So this week's MV pup is Miss Ruby. You know, listen, and I know there's nothing better than coming home and getting your dog to lick your face or wait there for you, whether you're going running errands for 10 minutes or you're going on a vacation. There's nothing better than with dog, when you come home to a dog and they're jumping and licking your face and all that. So if you're thinking about adopting a dog, you want to adopt another dog, check out Freedom First Rescue. Check out Miss Ruby. A little bit about Miss Ruby. She is a 2-year-old pitty mix. She actually raised a litter of puppies before she was even out of puppyhood herself. And Mike, you and I can vouch for her. She's an awesome dog.
Yeah, she's.
We saw her at the golf tournament, people friendly, just loving on everybody all day long. It's really a shame when I talked to Carly what happened. So a day or two after the golf tournament, somebody actually did adopt her, but then they returned her after 5 days and said she wasn't a good fit, which is just heartbreaking.
The time or the place for me to go on the soapbox in this round. But listen, you make that commitment to a dog like that, you don't bring the dog back. You make it work.
Yeah. Yeah, it just, when she told me that Ruby was back, I asked, hey, can we have Ruby on as the bark bed dog? And she said, absolutely. And I'm even heartbroken, just as everybody is at the rescue, that somebody returned. I mean, and like I said, we've met most of these dogs that we had on the past few weeks through the golf tournament and whatnot, and these dogs are super sweet dogs. And I just don't know how you give up on a sweet pup in 5 days, and they say it wasn't a good fit. Like, how do you?
I don't want to say too much here, and this isn't.
Yeah.
What Tom and I say has nothing to reflect on Freedom First Rescue. This isn't them saying any of this. Maybe this person has a legitimate reason why they brought this dog back. So these feelings are Tom and my feelings ourselves, nobody else's. But it just hurts me when somebody gives up on a dog so quickly. And again, I don't know the backstory. Tom doesn't either. And maybe we're talking out of line here. So
yeah, I just feel like
it'd be nice if somebody scooped her up, though.
Yeah, it would be great. Dogs cannot, in 5 days' time, dogs cannot show their true self. I mean, think about it. The dog goes from foster care to a new home. So they just lost everything that they've been familiar with, right? They're moving to a new home, trying to figure out where they fit in, how they belong. It doesn't happen overnight. And what Freedom First is really good about is they have a 3-3-3 rule. 3 days to decompress, 3 weeks to learn the routine, and 3 months to truly feel at home. So they swear by that. And I've never heard that before from a rescue. I got my 2 dogs from a different rescue before Freedom First was founded. But that's the first time, and I've dealt with other rescues, it's the first time I heard that 3-3-3 rule, and I think that's great.
It actually is pretty common, though, Tom. We got our dog from a rescue here locally, too, and that's the same thing they told us.
Really?
That we probably won't see great progress from the dog until that 3-month mark, and that's the exact thing they told us. So there's got to be some science behind it.
Yeah, and that's a great rule of thumb. And listen, while they appreciate people filling out an application and adopting a dog, just make sure that you're a good fit and that you really want to commit to this, because it is a lot. It's like having a kid. And Mike and I both have had rescue dogs, and it's a commitment. For people like us, we love dogs more than people. So you got to be ready to commit. It's not, an overnight thing where they're just going to automatically fit in. You just got to work with them. It's just sad that she's still here. So hopefully we can get the word out, get her adopted. She's fully potty trained. She's crate trained. She loves spending time outdoors. She actually does the best with submissive male dogs, or as a one and only. She does require a fenced-in yards, no apartments, condos, and she would also do best in a home where there's older kids and no cats. This tough girl, she's already proven how tough she is. She, like I said, she had a litter of her own before she even got out of puppyhood. She did only 2. And now she's just waiting for that forever home. Not even the best trained dog will even be an immediate fit in for your family. It's going to take work, right? They're scared just as much as you are, right? And they can't talk or express themselves the way that we can. So you got to be patient with them. She's ready. She's ready for that family that truly wants to commit. and compassion and not just the convenience of having a dog. So check out Miss Ruby, great dog. I would love to scoop her up if I could. If I had to play the space for 3 dogs and not 2, I would have taken her right from the golf tournament. But great dog. Check out freedomfirstrescue.com. Check out Ruby. They also have other dogs there up for adoption. You can do the application right online. They do meet and greets. If you have other dogs, I'm sure they will work with you and help, see if those dogs are fit for the, together. So great rescue, great dogs. Help them out. And one thing to mention, they are in need of supplies. So, cat food, dog food, newspapers. They're going to South Carolina, I believe, in a couple weeks to go pick up some more rescue dogs. So they are a strictly foster-based rescue, and they want to make sure that the fosters have all that they need when they foster these dogs. So they are in need of supplies, like I said, newspapers, clean supplies, dog food, cat food. We will post their link. They have an Amazon wish list. You can go on there and select the item, help them out. They also take monetary donations. The Venmo is at Freedom First Rescue if you just want to donate a monetary donation. Newspapers you can drop off at 1912 Leithsville Rd, Hellertown. So you can do that. Like I said, they need the newspapers, but we'll put all that info in the description so you guys can click that and help them out. So freedomfirstrescue.com, Ruby, all the other dogs there, help them get a forever home. Remember, adopt and don't shop. So Mike, it's time.
It's time. Drum roll. This is what we wait for. Let's do it.
We're done barking, so now we're going to roll right into Cash It or Trash It and see what other bets make our card.
You win some, you lose some. But you live to fight another day. I want winners.
Get us off there, Mike, with your picks this week.
I'm just going to roll right down the line here. We're taking Missouri -1. We're taking Louisville plus 13.5. We're taking CMU plus 4. We're taking Purdue plus 3.5. We're taking Old Dominion plus 2. Kentucky plus 13. I'm taking Buffalo, laying the 16.5. Last time I took Buffalo as a big favorite, they screwed me. I think they get it done this week against the pathetic UMass Minutemen. And then into the NFL this week, we're going to go with 3 games here. We're going to take the Chargers money line at, I believe it was -125. Not sure where it is right now. It might be a little more than that. I'm going to take the Bengals at plus 5.5. I was hoping to get a 6, but I don't think it's coming. And I'm going to take Tennessee plus 7. Hopefully going to rally around now that they're losing their mic. Now that they lost their coach, we'll see what happens there. Looks like another good week for me. I'll probably go only 15, but no, I feel good about good about these. I feel another positive winning week. Haven't had a losing week yet. We plan on keeping that run going.
Yeah, and I'm on some of those picks that you have.
Yeah, I noticed that.
Which is kind of odd.
That's good.
I think we're on a couple of those together. But there's my UCLA laying 3 in the hook there at home against Maryland. Louisville going into Miami, getting that 13.5.
I mean, Tom's going to have to get this podcast out quick because that game's tomorrow night.
It'll be out
Friday night. But by the time you see it, it'll be...
I'm going to take some Dayquil and some NyQuil because I'm a little under the weather. I'm just going to get all hopped up on all types of cold medicine and just power through this shit all night long. Get this edited. I do have Cal laying the 10 at home. I did take them even though they weren't my bark bet, but I do think that UNC team is just a complete shit show. So I do think I like Cal there, especially since they had a bye and they got blown out right before the bye against Duke. So I like them there. I do also like the Purdue getting the 3 in the hook there. Missouri, I'm on that as well. You and I were both on Missouri last week. I wasn't late to the party this week, so got them at -1. I do like Mississippi State. I got them at 9.5. Getting 9.5. No rhyme or reason. I just feel like they might be able to cover that. I also like SMU getting 9.5. I do think Arkansas could cover that 7.5 at home. I mean, They're complete trash with a 2-4, but I don't know. I like that 7.5 at home. I did mention the LSU Vandy under. I'm hammering that fucking under because the teams can't score. I think LSU was the last 5 games. LSU's games went under the last 5 games, I think. And I'm taking your boy Baker to cover the 5.5 against the Lions.
I hope they get killed.
They probably will, you dick. He's probably going to shit the bed and just, I don't know. But we'll see.
That's it, boys and girls.
We still have, we got one more. The James Frank. You can't forget our boy.
Yeah, I meant that's it for the bets.
Small game James, who won't be coaching anywhere this week, and Penn State still sucks. And one bet that didn't make my card that I'm betting, I didn't put it on here. I'm taking fucking Iowa laying 3 at home. But freshman quarterback, I don't care. They have an interim coach. That Penn State team sucks. They stink. That Terry Smith, I don't care how long you've been there. I don't care that you played there. That team stinks. I hope they win another game the rest of the season. All these people
They're going to win this week.
What? They probably are going to fucking win.
They're going to win this week.
They probably are going to win. They probably will win because Iowa can't fucking score either. They probably will win. But the biggest losing ticket of the week is the James Franklin Clown of the Week award. And so you and I were talking before this, and it was kind of a tie, a 1A, 1B. I'm going to mention it because we already talked about it a little bit, but the team the one that didn't make the cut is the entire fucking New York Jets team, because that team's fucking atrocious. They could have been the Clown of the Week. But it was the other New Jersey / New York team that plays in a dump of a fucking stadium. This clown here, Brian Dable, is nitwit. This guy is such a jackass. And I thank you, Mike, for pointing this out, because you're the one who said, oh, what about Dable when he peeks in the medical tent? This dummy, Jackson Dart goes in the medical tent. So Dable thinks he's just going to go in there and tell the doctors how to run the show.
Yeah, because he has control over this. What an ass.
An asshole. Like, he's going to kiss him? Why don't you kiss him? You're that close. This guy
has to follow the rules here. This guy's going to go try to make the fucking doctor feel like pressure. Are you kidding me? Like, the league should do something about that. Those doctors have a tough job to do, and they're under a lot of scrutiny, and then you're going to let some coach get into their face like that? Like,
right.
Get out of here.
He has no business. Coach the fucking game. He has no business going in there while he's getting evaluated for a concussion. If you want to talk to the doctor,
there's a reason they have these independent doctors, because they know team doctors would be under the influence of the coaches to try to get that player back on. So there's a reason they do this. So this stuff like this doesn't happen. And then this guy still thinks he could get in. You know what? Now that we're talking about it, he won this by a landslide.
Yeah, he did. I'm so glad you brought this to my attention, as I had the Jets. And this guy definitely wins it by a land. I wish that doctor would have just fucking gotten his face and told him to fuck off.
Do your job, coach. Let me do mine.
Right. Yeah. You can't coach. I'm a doctor. Let me just handle this shit. So there it is. Brian Dable.
That's great. That never gets old.
Clown of the Week award. James Franklin's Halloween costume. Oh God! Now he has time to go dress up.
I hope to God James Franklin doesn't get on ABC or CBS as a commentator, and I got to hear him every week now. I don't want to hear that.
I wasn't going to talk about this, but I'm going to talk about it. You just brought up ABC. I just saw fucking Screaming A. Smith is going to be on Good Morning. I just saw a commercial of the TV upstairs when I was in the kitchen, and it said Screaming A. Smith is going to be hosting Good Morning America. How much Screaming A. Smith are they going to shove down our throats? This guy's fucking annoying.
I don't watch that anyway.
I don't watch either, but this guy's like, he's on Mad Dog now. He's on ESPN. Now he's on fucking Good Morning. What the fuck is with Screaming A. Smith? It's ridiculous. And one other thing I wanted to mention earlier that I forgot, and then we can wrap this shit up because nobody cares what we had to say. But I did catch the other night, I couldn't sleep. I think the cold medicine is like doing the opposite. Instead of making me sleep, it's making me wired. So there's a replay of a preseason NBA game with the Cavs and the Celtics, right? And, I'm trying to go to sleep, but take notice next time you watch a game on ESPN. This is on ESPN. So, the squeaking shoes. Dude, this shit is all artificial piped in noise. These fucking guys were shooting free throws. And I hear a squeak, 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 meep.
Really?
Swear to God. I swear to God. It was a Celtics-Cavs game. See if you can try to find it. If I find it, I'll send it to you.
Yeah, that's interesting.
It was like toward the end of the game and the last like 5 minutes or something. And I'm like, holy fuck, that's a lot of shoes squeaking. And I'm like, shit, what? Like, I just don't remember watching basketball growing up. It was like that. And then I took notice when they would slow down or there was a stop of play or a guy shooting foul shots. The shit's still squeaking. I'm like,
yeah.
It's
I'll
fucking
keep that in
ESPN,
mind
dude.
next time I watch one.
Yeah. So that's it, Mike. That's another
All right.
one in the books.
Thanks for tuning in.
Hopefully we have another good week this week like last week. I'm not feeling so good, but we'll see what happens. But Mike, tell the people
Thanks
what they
for
need
watching.
to do.
Subscribe, unsubscribe, subscribe again. Tell a friend, tell an enemy. We enjoy doing this. We enjoy our followers that we do have, the whole handful of them. And yeah, we'll see you again next week. Same channel, same time. Good luck this weekend. We'll see you at the window.
Good luck.
We're fighting on buckshot. We're a suitcase full of